Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we look at another member of my classic computer collection. Today's video is going to be very short, and the model that's featured, it's not really a classic, but it's quite a nifty machine to have in one's collection. It is the Apple Powerbook 145B. So let's take a look at it. The Powerbook series, released in 1999, were the first Apple Macintosh laptops. Here's an ad showing their claim to fame. Ease of use and integration was highlighted. It makes the point that most laptops of the day, which usually ran MS-DOS and Windows 3, were far from integrated, needing clip-ons and extra bits and pieces to be useful. But not so the Powerbook. It was a complete, integrated package with great built-in connectivity and interface options, at least to other Macintosh machines. Furthermore, they had the keyboard placed towards the back of the computer, leaving space for the user's palms to rest on, with a trackball in between to steer a cursor. Other brands tended to have the keys towards the front, with a spare space between the keys and the screen. I remember when these computers first came out, as I was working with an Apple developer at the time on some educational software. I remember really wanting one of these, and made an effort to get one for the project. They were an astronomical price though, and my head of department would not yield. However, fast forward 22 years and I've finally got one. My 1993 145B is part of the Powerbook range, sporting a Motorola 68030 CPU running at 25 MHz. It's got 4 MB of RAM on board and a 40 MB hard drive containing System 7.1. So, here it is looking very smart in its charcoal grey livery. We'll just swing it around the back. You'll see it's got some little legs that simply fold down to give the keyboard a bit of an angle for typing. Makes it easier. The whole case has a very rugged and robust feel about it. And you can see what I mean about the keyboard being towards the back. This is standard for keyboards on laptops now, but that sort of setup was quite new and fairly innovative. You could rest your palms on the front there and just control the trackball with your thumb. So we'll close the lid and have a look at some of the features on the case. And around here on the right we've got the 1.4 MB floppy drive just in there. Coming around the back we've got on the left a power socket. You can see the back's has quite a clean look to it because the sockets are hidden under this flap, and there we have a SCSI port, we have an ADB port for an AB device like a mouse, a microphone and a speaker jack, then 2 ports for the printer and modem. And the button on the far right is the on-off switch. And that cover you can see next to the SCSI port is for an optional RJ11 modem, which can be fitted internally. Coming around the other side we can see a flap here. Now the battery is normally underneath that, but as you can see there's no battery in it, it's empty. It did have a NiCad battery in there that was flat as a pancake, so I removed it. Now just before we boot the machine up I'll show you the power supply. It is a brick, but it's quite light. It hasn't got much weight to it. And I'll just show you the other end of it. Pretty conventional plug. So we will now plug that plug into the machine and start it up. I'm not going to show you any special software on this machine, it's just got System 7.1 on it, which many of you will be familiar with. But we'll just see how it boots up. So there we have the typical splash screen for 7.1. Now this machine's from an educational institute and it's got some software installed I don't know about, and this is one of them. This comes up during boot. It seems to be some sort of disk compression program perhaps. So if anyone does know what that is, please leave a comment. So this would be very familiar to those people watching that have used early Macintoshes. This just shows the configuration of the machine. You see there just how much memory it's got, 4 megabytes. Now I'll show you what's on the hard disk, and you can see there's some productivity software there already installed. It's got the same software that was on it when it came to me, so I haven't played with this machine too much, and I've virtually left it alone. So a lot of it does have the original software that the previous user installed. One extra thing here that's not on a desktop with System 7.1 is this special control for the battery. So it's got some power saving features that you can set on the machine to conserve battery life. Now just as we close these windows, note those eyes up there right on the top bar in the centre. Obviously some third-party software again that I don't know about, but quite cute. So onto the manual, and as you'd expect with Apple manuals, really well designed, well printed. A good manual that covers the early Powerbook range, so it is kind of generic in that sense. It does refer to specific models as you go through, and I'm not quite sure about the range of operating systems this covers either. I would imagine from 6 possibly through to 7.1. It doesn't seem to specify anywhere, but it's a nice manual. It uses different tones, easy to read, easy to look at, nicely done. So just a final look at my machine, and although I said at the beginning it wasn't really a classic, the early Powerbook line was notable. Notable in that it had this design where the keyboard was set back, there was a trackball built in, so it was obviously a machine that was designed to be used with a graphical user interface from the get-go. Well, today's video was pretty short, but I hope you enjoyed that look at the Apple Powerbook 145B. So, until next time, keep well, and we'll see you in the next video.